Hello everyone, Jai Bhim, Jai Bharat, Namo Buddhaya. This is Nikhil Sablania. It is a special series of program I am doing on the reasons why Dr. Ambedkar resigned in 1953 from his post of law minister. I have made 4 videos on this topic. You can go to the description. You can find the link of the other 4 videos, and even if I am making any next video, then you will find that next video. There are various reasons I have given. If I will repeat on those reasons, then it will become very lengthy, so better you go to the part 1, part 2, part 3, part 4, and now I am going to make this part 5. So I have taken this letter of his resignation from volume number 14 of English Writing and Speeches of Dr. Ambedkar, and now this is another reason. Apart from the reasons, the major reasons was they were like disappointment from Mr. Nehru of not giving other portfolios. Dr. Ambedkar was indifferent to the constitutional making. He didn't want it to become a law minister. Portfolios were given irrespective to the qualifications of other ministers, but he was not, apart from given any portfolio, he was not even formed the member of any committee. He was not formed the member of the cabinet. There was a power politics going on, snatching of portfolios were going on. This was the first reason he gave. Then there were another reasons about the backward classes, about the constitutional reforms, about the jobs which were not given to the scheduled caste irrespective of the provisions. And now let's come to the another reason. So this reason, okay. Now this reason is the first reason in this episode is about the foreign policy. So on page 1321 of this volume, from his letter I am reading some lines. On the paragraph 3 he writes, the third matter which has given me cause not merely for dissatisfaction but for actual anxiety and even worry is the foreign policy of the country. Anyone who has followed the course of our foreign policy and along with it the attitude of our countries, the attitude of other countries towards India could not fail to realize the sudden change that has taken place in their attitude towards us. On 15th of August 1947, when we began our life as an independent country, there was no country which wished us ill. Every country in the world was our friend. Today, after 4 years, all our friends have deserted us. We have no friends left. We have alienated ourselves. We are pursuing the lonely furrow with no one even to second our resolutions in the UNO. When I think of our foreign policy, I am reminded of what Bismarck and Bernard Shaw has said. Bismarck has said that politics is not a game of realizing the ideal. Politics is the game of possible. Bernard Shaw not very long ago said that good ideas are good, but one must not forget that it's often dangerous. He too he To be dangerous to be good. Our foreign policy is completely opposite to these words of wisdom uttered by the two of the world's of greatest men. Anyway, it becomes boring if I keep reading. I was reflecting on what he was writing. So here he was unsatisfied with the foreign policy. So he specifically writes that on 15th of August in 1947, when we got independent, all the countries were with us. They did not want it our ill. They were with us, they were friends. But within 4 years, what happened? That there is no country left which is friendly with us. Now this thing which he wrote in 1953 is very important in 2025. At present, after the conflict with Pakistan, what we are saying that countries are not coming towards us. And Congress is blaming this on BJP, but Congress people must read this resignation letter. That what happened that after 4 years of the independence, none of the countries were coming to us. So our foreign policy was failure. At that time also, this Dr. Ambedkar writes. He writes many other things, but I will come to the part of the Pakistan. So, but apart from Pakistan, he writes that out of 350 crores of rupees of revenue was raised annually, we spent about 180 crores of rupees on the army. It is a colossal expenditure which has hardly any parallel. So you can see that we were spending more than half of the budget. This colossal expenditure, more than half of our budget on the army, and we know that even after that, what we had to face in the next two wars, the colossal expenditure is direct result of our foreign policy. We have to foot the whole of our bill for our defense ourselves because we have no friends on which we can depend on for help in any emergency that may arise. I have been wondering whether this is the right sort of foreign policy. So here again, he talks about the foreign policy, that why we are spending so much budget. If we have friends, friends can come during any calamity, during any disaster, during any invasion, but they are not coming for us. First he said this thing, and then we are spending so actually at that time India was a poor state. India wanted more money to be spent on the infrastructure and on the poor people, but they were not spending, and this is what Dr. Ambedkar is complaining. Now what he wrote about Pakistan at that time, I'm going to read it, I'm going to explain it to you, but don't take it parallel with the present time. Time is different. What Pakistan has done in Kashmir, terrorism he has produced, over 70,000 deaths have come so far due to the terrorism by Pakistan. So, but it was at that time, Dr. Ambedkar was writing at that time, he was giving a kind of a solution to this if it could satisfy Pakistan. So he said our quarrel with Pakistan, but don't read it as per present time. Now time is different, now our policy is different, we should stick to our policy, our present policy. But at that time he wrote that our quarrel with Pakistan is a part of our foreign policy. About when I feel deeply satisfied, there are two grounds which have disturbed our relations with Pakistan. One is Kashmir and other is the condition of our people in East Bengal. East Bengal is Bangladesh now. I felt we should be more deeply concerned with the East Bengal, where the condition of our people seems from all the newspapers intolerable than the Kashmir. So recently, you know what has happened in Bangladesh? Tortures or on Hindus have gone like beyond the limits, beyond, they are like so much inhuman towards the Hindus. And it was Dr. Ambedkar who was writing in 1953. And we have seen that in 1971 also what happened. Lots of refugees, millions of refugees, Hindu people took refuge in India. That was Bangladesh. Before Bangladesh, it was East Pakistan, that is East Bengal. So they came to India. But it was Dr. Ambedkar who was saying in 1953 that you are concentrating everything. You are giving your budget, more than half of the budget to defense just to protect the Kashmir. What about the Hindus in the Bengal? We know that Mr. Jawaharlal Nehru was from Kashmir. He was a Brahmin from Kashmir, Pandit from Kashmir, Brahmin from Kashmir, and many people say that because I think his birthplace, his ancestral birthplace must be there somewhere in Kashmir, in Srinagar or so. So he had this special thing, or there might be other reasons, but what Dr. Ambedkar was saying that you should have taken more care of the people in the East Bengal. You are not giving your full attention to the Kashmir. Notwithstanding this, we have been taking our all on the Kashmir issue. Even then, I feel that we have been fighting on an unreal issue. The issue on which we are fighting most of the time is who is in the right and who is in the wrong. The real issue, to my mind, is not who is in the right but what is right. Taking that to be main question, my view has always been that the right solution is to partition Kashmir. Give the Hindus and Buddhists part of India and the Muslims part to Pakistan, as we did in the case of India. We are really not concerned with the Muslim part of Kashmir. It is a matter between the Muslims of Kashmir and Pakistan. They may decide the issue as they like, or if you like, divide it into three parts: the ceasefire zone, the valley, and the Jammu Ladakh region, and give the publicity only in the valley. Now, this thing about publicity, I think this actually he was writing at that time, but what has happened even in 1947, I tell you one figure that in 1947, after the infiltration, actually, when he was writing, that book was not published at that time when this figure came out. So he was writing before the publication of that book, and a book came much later after him by one of the commander of the army, Pakistani army, that they killed uh, in a one place out of 20,000 they killed out of 14,000 they killed 8 or 9,000, 11,000 or so. I mean, so only 3,000 were left. 14,000 out of 14,000 people, they killed 11,000 Hindus, Sikhs. And they did not only kill the Hindus and Sikhs, they also killed the Muslims also, who were giving refuge to the Hindus and Sikhs. So this bloodshed which took place in the Kashmir, that was not reported properly, and we know that after in 89 what happened. Lakhs of people had to migrate out of Kashmir. What he was writing at that time, it's not applicable. To me, it's not applicable to now what the Pakistan has done in the valley of Kashmir. But this was one of the thing he was writing. We don't know what he when he was writing. It's right or wrong at that time. As per it could be right because in the period of this, along with all these 75 years, we have seen that we have spent a lot of money on Kashmir also. Actually, this is also true. And recently I was actually reading some posts from Kashmir. So I would tell you that it's very difficult because the majority has become Muslim, and those people in the Kashmir, actually, it would be absolutely wrong to say that they wanted to come with India. They don't like India. They don't like Farooq Abdullah and his family. They don't like the Muslim politicians who are with India. And there's a huge number of Kashmiri people over there, actually, which is also sad because if you look at the India, you can go to any places in India at the tourist places. There are a lot of shops by the Kashmiris, and these Kashmiris are actually, I don't know why they are doing this, because they were actually Hindus, and most of them were Brahmin Hindus. There were other caste people also who turned to Islam, but why they wanted to get separated, I mean, why they have so much hate for India is I don't know. In fact, people from Pakistan wanted to migrate to India, but they wanted to join. Some of them, then they are like separated. 50% wanted to join Pakistan. 50% wanted to join. Wanted to make a separate country like Kashmir, which won't be possible because Pakistan will certainly, definitely, if take Kashmir, if even if they form an independent country, it won't be possible at all for them. Then what will happen to them, I don't know. But anyway, this was Dr. Ambedkar talking in 1953. So he says, what I am afraid of is that in the proposed plebiscite, which is to be an overall plebiscite, the Hindus and Buddhists of the Kashmir are likely to be dragged into Pakistan. So this again, what I am saying, he is also cautioning against this danger that Hindus and Buddhists are likely to be dragged into Pakistan against their wishes, and we may have to face the same problem as we are facing today in the East Bengal. So if I take this statement of Dr. Ambedkar, this is contrary to his statement he writes before that. This means he didn't want it a plebiscite, but he wanted to give more attention to the East Bengal and more budget to be allocated. So another reason of his allocated to the East of Bengal. Another reason which he gave for his resignation, I will continue in this video. It will be, I think, video number 6. I am making there 4 other videos. I forgot the counting. So he writes, I will now refer to the fourth matter, which has a good deal to do with my resignation. The cabinet has become a merely recording and registration office of decisions already arrived at by the committee. As I have said, the cabinet now works by committees. There is a defense committee, there is a foreign committee. All important matters relating to foreign affairs are dealt with by it. All matters relating to the defense are disposed by the defense committee. The same members of the committee are appointed by them. I am not a member of either of these committees. They work hard on iron, they work behind an iron curtain. Others who are not members have only to take joint responsibility without any opportunity of taking part in the shaping of policy. This is an important position. So this also he has written in this letter. In the previous videos you can go. So he was never made form of this committee, and now he is putting another allegation on the Congress party that they worked behind behind an iron curtain. So everything was secret. Other members were not made the part of policy making. I mean, this is sad to read. How could they form a country in a democracy without? And now we are also saying same thing with the BJP also. Everything is decisions are taken by one person, Mr. Modi, and same thing is happening now. I will now deal. So another reason he gives. I will now deal with the matter, which has led me finally to come to the decision that I should resign. It is the treatment which was accorded to Hindu Code Bill. This is another about Hindu Code Bill. I will read about this in the another episode. You can watch another episode, and because I'm making continuously making this series. So go and watch episode number 7, I think, of why Dr. Ambedkar resigned from his post as a law minister. And please, if you wanted to read his books, do call me, buy books from me, or you can go to our website. My phone number is 8527533051. Another number is 885118870. This is one more number, 844791 and 8447913116, and our website is nspmart.com. We have books written by Dr. Ambedkar, we have books on him, we have books on the contemporary issues by the contemporary authors. There is a collection of 100 books on economics also. We also provide, along with his thesis on economics, books by Karl Marx, book by Adam Smith. So you can call me. My main number is 8527533051. Do buy books, keep the books with you, read them. They will be the future. Thank you very much.